A very good morning, students. Myself, Ms. Bhagyashri Thoravde, welcome you all on the behalf of Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation Education Department. And the topic that we are going to study today is reflection of light. In today's lecture, we will study about what is reflection, types of reflection of point source on a plane mirror, reflection of extended source on a plane mirror. Now we will first have a look on the examples of reflection in our day-to-day life. These are the 9 most commonly seen examples of reflection of light in our day-to-day life with naked eye. The first and foremost is reflection of light in the mirror. Definitely we get up in the morning and we see our reflection in the mirror. The second example is a reflection of light in the spherical mirror. Definitely we are using cosmetic mirror in our day-to-day life for shaving, and even ladies are using the spherical mirror in day-to-day life. The third example is reflection of light in water pool. The fourth example that we see is the reflection of light on a polished surface. You all must have seen that utensils that are being polished, okay? You can see the other object that are being surrounding to them. Fifth example would be object seen due to reflection of light. Sixth one is the glowing of star. Definitely we see stars and we see moon at light. It is because of reflection. We see lightning of moon at the night. Reflection of luminous object. By luminous object, we mean the object that are being far away in the sky. And last but not the least is reflection from non-luminous object too. So one question arises, why do we see object? We will find our answer in the slide. Here you are seeing a girl is looking at the tree. Here the tree itself is acting as a non-luminous object, the object which is not able to produce light, okay? Such object would be called as a non-luminous object. But what happens is, when the sun arises, the ray of light that are being emitted from the sun are being incident on this non-luminous object. So here you have made out that sun is a luminous object, the one which is able to project light, produce light. So the rays of light that are being emitted from the sun are being incident on the non-luminous object, that is tree. And once these rays of light are being hit back by the tree, they are being, coming to the person's eye, and we are able to see the object that is being, we are going to see. So here, this is how the reflection of light take part. Why we see light? Because the light is incident on the non-luminous object, and ultimately these non-luminous objects hit back or bounce back this light on us. So here comes a detailed explanation. Again, in this slide, I have tried to explain how the things are being seen. The light is coming from the sun. It is being incident on the tree. And ultimately what happens is, after bouncing back from the tree, the rays of light are ultimately reaching the person's eye. Now, what if we want to see an object in dark? Definitely we see things in light, but what if a person wants to find an apple in dark? How the reflection is responsible for seeing an object? Let us suppose the object is placed in a dark room. Here, our object of focus is the apple. The room is very dark. What we do is we turn on the light. Here, the light is a table lamp. The source of light is a table lamp. The bulb starts emitting light rays. The light rays are ultimately incident on the object of focus, that is the apple in this case. Once this ray of light are being incident on the apple, they are being bounced back. So when they are being bounced back, you can see the image of this apple in the mirror. What we have done is we have placed a mirror in front of this apple. Now, once these bounced rays are being, reflected from the surface of the mirror, if the person is standing over here, the person will be able to see that there is an apple in the room placed before the mirror. So this is how a reflection of light takes place in a dark room. This is how we are able to see object in a dark room. What specifically happens over here is there are tons of light rays that are being emitted from the source of light. The source of light continuously emit tons of rays, and ultimately these rays are being incident on the object, and the object bounces these rays back. So how do we see things? When the light hits something, it bounces back, and when it is bounced, the light reaches our eye, we see the things. This is why we need light to see things. So you can say light is very, very important in our day-to-day life. Now in this slide, we are seeing a pool of water. And we will actually see how the bouncing of light is being done. Let us suppose that the sun is emitting ray of light. The ray of light are being, they are coming on the surface, on the water, of the water. These rays emitted from the sun are being coming, and they are just falling on the surface of the water. These rays of light are being called as incident rays. Okay, the ray of light which is coming and falling initially on the surface, which is going to reflect back the rays, are called as incident rays. And once they hit the water surface, these rays of light are bounced in the opposite direction. So these rays are called as reflected rays. So this is how the reflection is taken place whenever the ray of light is being incident on an object. So we have come across a phenomena which is related to light, which is being called as reflection of light. So what is reflection of light? Reflection is a natural phenomenon of light that separates the light wave to go through a straight line. Means it is due to the reflection that the beam of light changes its path. Why it changes path? You all saw there is an incident ray. Definitely after hitting the surface, definitely the light is changing its path. We are also saying it as bouncing back of the light wave in the same medium when it strikes with any surface, whether it is plain, curved, or rough. So reflection of light is a phenomenon which we are observing in our day-to-day life. Whenever there is a change of path of the light ray, and when the light ray travels in the same medium, then we call that phenomena as reflection of light. I get back to the same slide again. See here, light was initially traveling in air only. And after hitting the surface, definitely it is bouncing back in the air again. So you can see there is a change of path of the ray of light. This is called as a reflection of light. Definitely the reflection of the ray is in the same medium only. In our case, it is the air. Now, we all have come across reflection, but there are subtypes of reflection also. Now we will see what are the different types of reflection that we see in our day-to-day life. So there are many types of reflection of light in daily life, but we discuss only the most common and relevant type. So the most common and relevant type of reflection of light types are the three types. The first one is the reflection of light. The second one is the regular or diffusion of light. And the third one is multiple reflection of light. I'm sorry, I missed out the first one. The first one is called as regular reflection of light. The second one is irregular or diffusion of light. And the third one would be called as multiple reflection of light. Now we will see each type of this reflection of light in detail. Here we are coming across the first type of reflection of light, that is the regular reflection. If a ray of light falls on the smooth surface and the light wave gets reflected only in one direction, then they would be called as regular reflection of light. Regular reflection of light can also be defined as the light wave falls on a polished surface and gets reflected in such a way that all the rays will be parallel to each other. Now here we are considering a plane surface. My pointer is on the plane surface. The light rays are being incident and hitting this plane or polished surface. So you can see the pointer is on the incident ray now. And what happens is these rays suffers bouncing back, and when they bounce back, definitely each and every ray of light is parallel to each other. So the reflected ray, you can see they are parallel to each other after reflection. When such a case is there, we call such a reflection as regular reflection of light. Why? Because the reflected rays are parallel to each other. And when such type of reflection comes, you get the image something like this. In this slide, I have put a photo where there is a nice oasis. You can also say a small lake is there, and you can see the reflection of the mountain in that lake. Of course, the water is still. So we say the surface is a still surface. Now, what all things that are being there surrounding this area, all the details are being seen in the reflection. Each and every minute detail is being seen on the surface of this lake, okay, very clearly. I would say very clearly. The reflection is very, very clear when we talk about regular reflection. Why? Because after reflection, the rays of light are parallel to each other. And this is the reason why we get a clear and distinct image on the surface. The next type of reflection of light that we are going to see now is the irregular reflection. or diffusion reflection of light. If a ray of light falls on a rough surface, then after reflection of light wave, we get diffusion in all direction. Irregular reflection of light can also be defined as when the ray of light falls on the surface that is not polished. Then after reflection, it will bounce back in the same medium, but not each ray will be parallel to each other. On the right hand side of this slide, you can see that the surface is rough. So when the surface is rough, definitely you can see the incident rays are parallel to each other. And when this incident ray are incident on the rough surface, each and every ray will be getting reflected in all the possible direction. So you see the reflected rays are not parallel to each other, which was a case in regular reflection. So in irregular reflection, you see the reflected rays are, reflected in all possible direction. They are not parallel to each other. You all must have this common experience that a wall appears to be rough. Why it appears to be rough? Because the answer is somewhere here. Definitely the incident rays are parallel to each other, but when the surface is rough, each and every ray will hit the rough surface, okay, glitches, and ultimately the reflection of light will be in all possible direction. The reflected rays are not parallel to each other. Similarly, you must have experienced that a wall surface appears to be very plain. Why? Because when the incident ray are parallel, all the rays of light are parallel to each other. This is the reason why the wall surface appears to be smooth. Now, when we consider irregular reflection, the picture will be seen something like this. Now here what is happening is you can see the water is not still. Okay, there are few ripples in the water. So what happens is whatever things that are surrounding to the surface, they will be reflected. Definitely on the surface of the water, you will see a reflection, but you won't be able to see a clear picture of the surrounding things. Why? Because the reflected rays are traveling in all possible directions. So in this case, we say the image appears to be distorted. Okay, the image is not clear. Such type of reflection is also called as diffused reflection. It is because of this only. Why? Because the colors you can see, they are appearing to be, merging with each other. Okay, the image is also not at all clear. The next and third type of reflection of light would be called as multiple reflection of light. When a ray of light falls on a surface, whether it is rough or polished, and the surfaces are placed with other polished or rough surface in such a way that after reflection of light, from the one surface, the reflected ray falls on the other surface, and again reflected ray of the second surface falls on the third surface, and so on. Then this type of reflection is called as a multiple reflection of light. In short way, multiple reflection of light can be defined as the ray of light falls on a surface 1, and after reflection, the reflected ray of surface 1 falls on surface 2, and so on. Now, here we can see an example of reflection of light from a multiple surface. For example, we have taken two surfaces that are polished. You can also imagine these two surfaces are polished mirror. Okay, and these surfaces are being placed one before the another. What happens is the ray of light enters and falls on the first mirror. Definitely it faces the reflection. It falls on the second mirror. At second mirror also it is facing the reflection. So you can see the reflection has occurred a multiple of times when one surface is being placed opposite to the other surface, a polished surface, of course. Now we will come across a slide where we are seeing a person who has invented mirror. Who was that? We will now see. The German scientist Justus von Liebig coated the plain surface of a piece of ordinary glass with silver metal and made the first mirror. Such a mirror is called as silver glassed mirror. In the olden days, definitely the mirrors were being made with the help of glass, and the back side of the glass was being coated with silver. Okay, definitely nowadays the silver has become expensive, so we are coating it with the help of aluminium, or you can also say silver nitrate solution. So scientifically speaking, what is mirror in scientific language? Has mirror the surface which reflect the light and create clear image is called as a mirror. We need polished surface for reflecting light. This is because polished surface absorb less light and so maximum light is reflected. This is the reason why when the mirror are being constructed, the mirrors are being polished. Okay, they are being coated at the back side with silver or silver nitrate solution, and they are being polished. Why? Because polished surface has a least tendency to absorb light. Okay, so whenever a ray of light is being falling on polished surface, a maximum light is being reflected back. Of course, the mirror was invented, but in the later time, a many type of mirror came. So basically, there are two type of mirror. The first one is the plane mirror, and the second one is called as a spherical mirror. Spherical mirror is going to have two subtypes. The first one would be the convex mirror, and the second one would be the concave mirror. We will now see each type in detail. A mirror is made by coating the back surface of flat and smooth glass piece with a thin reflecting film of aluminium or silver. On this, a red color paint is painted over it. To protect this reflecting film and to make that side to pick another coat of substance like lead oxide is given over it. So basically a plane mirror look like this. A plane mirror is a mirror which we use to see our face, our attire in our day-to-day life. If you see the backside of the mirror will look like this. Okay, it is simply a piece of glass which is being coated with silver or aluminium, and over this coating of silver and aluminium, we are painting it with some color. So how the reflection takes place on a plane mirror, we'll now see. The ray of light are being incident on the surface of the mirror, and ultimately they get bounced back from the surface. Why? Because the surface is polished And definitely the maximum ray of light are being, thrown away in the form of reflected ray from the mirror. So definitely you can see that the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection are going to be the same. This is going to be the angle of incidence and this is going to be the angle of reflection. They are always going to be the same for a plane mirror. Now we will see ray falling on a mirror normal to its surface. We will actually see how the image is being formed. Here we are having a mirror which my pointer is there, and at the back side of the mirror you can see blue lines, slanting lines. Okay, I've placed the pointer over there. These blue slanting line denotes the back side of the mirror, the coated part of the mirror. And opposite to it, you can see this black vertical line is the front side of the mirror, which is being used to see the object. Now what happens is the ray of light are being incident on the mirror perpendicularly. By perpendicularly, I mean that the angle made by the incident ray with the normal is 90 degree. Okay, you can see the angle is 90 degree. This is the reason why we are saying the rays of light are always perpendicular. Okay, this is the angle which is 90 degree. So the rays of light are always going to be perpendicular to the surface of the mirror. Now look at these rays of light. These rays of light are initially coming and hitting on the surface. This is the reason why they are being called as an incident ray. Now, after bouncing back or after reflection, you can see a reflected ray. Look at the direction of the reflected ray. The direction of the reflected ray is opposite to that of the incident ray. Definitely, the reflected ray takes the same path as that of the incident ray. Okay, the path is always going to be the same for the incident and the reflected ray. So this is how the reflection takes place for a plane mirror. The incident ray and the reflected ray always travel along the same path but in opposite direction. The next we will see now image of a point source formed by a mirror. Now suppose if we have a mirror M1 and M2. The back side of the mirror is shown with the help of the slanting line. And the front one is shown with a solid vertical line. We are placing an object at point O. Now the object can be anything. It can be a candle flame. It can be a laser light, you can say. So we are placing an object at point O. What happens is the incident ray OR1 is incident on the plane mirror M1 and M2. The incident ray after reflection becomes R1 S1. Similarly, the other ray of light emitted from the object becomes OR2. So OR2 is the incident ray which is being incident on the plane mirror M1, M2, and after reflection it becomes a reflected ray as R2, S2. We want to find out the exact location of the image. So what we do over here is we just produce the reflected ray backwards. This R1S1 is produced backward. Similarly, the R2S2 is produced backward. You can see both the rays of light are meeting at some point which we call it as O dash. And this is the point where you get the image O dash of the object O. One thing that you must have noticed is you can see the distance of the object from the mirror and you can see the distance of the image from the mirror. Both are going to be at the same distance. The only difference, the image is being formed at the back side of the mirror. Here the image is O dash. And this is how we see the image on the front side of the mirror, though the image is being formed virtually at the back side. Okay, the reflected ray do not actually meet each other, hence such an image is called as a virtual image. Definitely why we are calling it as virtual, because the image is being formed at the back side and at the same distance as that of source is there from the mirror. Now, what if the source is not a point source, but it is an extended source? In that case, we will see. Now, what is an extended source? We first need to understand. We are taking a pencil here, okay, and placing it in the front of the plane mirror M1, M2. The back side of the mirror is being shown with a slanting line, and the front side is being shown with a solid black vertical line. Now what happens is the tip of the pencil is being shown with the alphabet P, and the back side of the pencil, you can also say the end of the pencil is being shown with the alphabet Q. Now what happens is each and every point on this pencil will act as a point source. Suppose if the ray of light from P is being incident on the plane mirror M1, M2, okay? If it is produced backward at the same distance, we get a point P dash over here. So we plot P. Similarly, the end point of this pencil, which is at Q, the ray of light is being incident on the plane mirror M1, M2. If we produce this ray of light at the back side of the mirror at the same distance as that of the Q, you will get a point Q dash over here. Similarly, any point on the pencil, the ray of light will be incident on the plane mirror, and if it is produced backward, you get the same point at the same distance at the back side of the mirror. So this is how an image of an extended source will be formed. Any source which is having more number of points where the light ray can be emitted, okay, such a source would be called as a extended source. So this is how an extended source image will be formed. Definitely here also you can say the image P dash Q dash is being formed at the back side of the mirror. So the image formed by the plane mirror is always going to be the virtual one. You really can't locate the exact image point. So whenever there is a reflection, you always get the image as erect or upright. Definitely the image is virtual. It is laterally inverted. It lies along a line joining the object and the surface, which is perpendicular to the surface. Definitely the image that is being formed is of the same size as that of the object. It is located far behind the reflecting surface as the object is in front of it. This means that the image is being formed at the backside of the mirror at the same distance as the distance at which the object is being placed before the mirror. So students, now comes the assignment part. We will first see the homework part, and we will see a few multiple choice questions related to the topic that we studied today. Okay, so the first and foremost question for the homework will be, explain image of extended source by a plane mirror. The answer is here. Definitely whatever I spoke, you have to write it. We are considering an object PQ in the form of pencil. P is the tip of the pencil, Q is the end of the pencil. If the ray of light coming from point P is incident on the mirror, and if the ray of light is produced at the back side of the mirror at the same distance as that of P, you get a point P dash. So on and so forth, you have to write the answer. So the answer lies in this slide. The second question will be, write the characteristic of the image formed by a plane mirror. Definitely the last slide, the previous slide that we saw was having this answer. The image is always erect and upright. You are standing in front of the mirror, definitely you are standing. So the image also appears to be standing only. It is virtual, definitely the image is virtual. It is acting along the same line. It is of the same size as that of the object. If a thin person stands in front of mirror, definitely a thin image or an image equivalent to his build or her build will be formed. And the location is definitely far behind. This is the reason why the image is being called as a virtual image. The third question that will be for homework will be, explain image of point source by a plane mirror. By point source, we have to give the explanation that was being done over here. We have an object O, OR1 as the incident ray, OR2 as the incident ray. Okay, they are getting reflected as R1S1, R2S2. If these reflected ray R1S1, R2S2 are reflected backward, we get an image at point 2 at the back side of the mirror. Okay, so this is how the image will be formed for a point source placed in front of a plane mirror. So students, today we saw reflection and its type. So how many types of reflections are there? Option number 1 is 1. Option number 2 is 2. Option number 3 is 3. And option number 4 is 4. Definitely we saw 3 types of reflection today. The first one was regular reflection. Second one was irregular reflection or diffuse reflection. And third one was the multiple reflection. The next multiple choice question over here is, a well-defined image of an object is called as dash. Regular reflection, diffuse reflection, normal reflection, irregular reflection. Now let me give you an explanation in short. We get a clear, well-defined image when the reflected rays are parallel to each other. And this was a case in regular reflection. So the option number 1 is going to be the correct option in this case. Okay, option number 1, which is the regular reflection, is going to be our answer. A colored and distorted image of the object is called as dash. Option number 1, irregular reflection. Option number 2, regular reflection. Option number 3, rainbow. Option number 4, diffraction. We are getting a colored and distorted image if the reflected rays of light are not parallel to each other. And this is a case of irregular reflection. So again here, option number 1 becomes a correct option.